Okay, so today I'm going to do a portrait. This is a friend of mine. Name is Bo. She's Korean. Um, so I'm going to do her portrait today. Let's see. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so as I've said a couple of times before, when I do a portrait, the first thing is to get the shape of the head, the general shape of the head. So, and usually I'll crop it a little bit at the top. I just think it makes more interesting. So is that kind of the shape? Neck. I like to give them a tall, kind of a long neck, like Modigliani. I don't know why, but it just turns out that way. You know, the paintings have a mind of their own sometimes, and my women tend to have long necks. If I'm going to give her a shirt or a t-shirt, I don't know. I'll give her the shirt. See how that goes. Is that right? I don't know, I can worry about that later. So anyway, let's draw the center line down. Let's go down the middle of her face. And the mouth, let's say the mouth's going to be here. That means the nose will be about here. That means the eyes will be about here. Right? All right. She's Korean, so the eyes are going to be they're going to be Korean eyes. They're not going to be Caucasian eyes, you know. Don't send me any emails telling me I'm a racist. So the hair is always a problem for me, but this won't be so bad because it's all black. It's just black. She's getting married in a couple of months. Maybe I'll give her the painting as a wedding present. If it turns out right. If it doesn't, if it's not successful, I have to give her something else. Maybe a toaster or something. Now she's got her mouth open. I generally like to paint, almost always, I have to paint them with the mouth closed, because when their mouth is open, if they're smiling or laughing, for some reason, it's very hard to paint a person who's smiling or laughing. It just doesn't look right. You know, there have been many paintings of people laughing and smiling that are very good paintings, you know, but for some reason I just like to have them, the mouth closed and a kind of a natural look. That's what I prefer. So I'm going to paint her with her mouth closed, okay? So then the nose does this. So far I like it actually, okay. And then what else do I need to do here? Her ears are covered, so I don't have to paint the ears. And then the neck, the shirt. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, you know. for the drawing. I'll just now throw some paint down, and then I'll have a better idea of what needs to be, you know, what work, further work needs to be done on the drawing. So, but so far it looks like I got most of what I need. Koreans have very high cheekbones. Well, okay, so what do we got here? How's that look? Well, I'll put some paint down. We'll see what happens. And black. I'll start with the usual, the yellow ochre, white, and black. And while I'm painting, I'm also drawing a little bit with the brush. And I'm trying to follow, you know, I'm not just throwing the paint down haphazardly. I'm actually trying to kind of draw a little bit with the brush. And use a big brush. You know, I always say that, use a big brush, the biggest possible brush. I'll have to get use a smaller brush in here, but right now I want a nice big brush for these areas. So, and then this, don't forget that. I have to keep checking the camera because sometimes the camera's not correct, not aimed correctly, and I'm painting along, and then I look at the camera and I find out that it's missed half my brush strokes because I haven't adjusted it, and that's always a wonderful feeling. I'm kind of new at this video. I'm very new. I'm a complete novice at videotaping, but you know, there's a learning curve in this, as in most things, in fact all things. And painting I've been doing for 25 years, but videotaping I've been doing it for 3 weeks, so I got a long way to go in that department. Okay, so I want to do the mouth. Now, Koreans have very, very narrow, almost non-existent eyelids. So she's not gonna, I like to paint a big eyelid, but Koreans don't have big eyelids. They have very small eyelids, so this will be mostly eyeball, you know. I gotta give her some lips. Put some red in here. Okay, so now what do I have to do? I have to do the hair, that's just gonna be, I'm not gonna make that black right now, but eventually it'll be black, I think. So a little burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. I mean raw sienna, ultramarine blue. That's a nice dark kind of green. That might work for this right now. Maybe I'll leave it like that. I don't know. That's a nice color. I think to come in a little bit more here. Hair is a shape. You know, the hair is always a shape. Then towards the end, you can work in the details. If they're curls, if they're strands of hair. But basically, you have to start off with the hair as a shape. Well, her face is too wide. I can see that already. It's too wide, but I can fix that. I'm going to do the shirt next. I think I'm going to put some purple in there. Is she wearing purple? No, she's wearing sort of a green, but I'm going to try the purple. Maybe I'll try the purple with a little cerulean blue. That's a nice color. Of course, I'm going to get some black in there with the charcoal, but that's okay. See, here's one of the differences. When you're painting on the ground, like the Venetian red or the burnt sienna, and you're putting more paint down with a dry brush, then the ground is always going to pop through. You know, you can see it here. I can cover that, I probably will. But at some point, that's a nice effect. When the ground is kind of poking through the next layer of color, it sometimes gives you a very nice effect that you're not going to get with white. If I'm painting directly on a white canvas without the ground, it's going to be a totally different effect and not as interesting, in my opinion, usually. But anyway, so, all right, I'm going to do the background. What am I going to, I'll use maybe some white, black and yellow ochre and some for green. I'll probably add some white to that too. I don't know. The background is usually, my backgrounds tend to be very light color. From time to time I'll have a darker color with more, with less white in it. But it just, you know, every paintings have a mind of their own, as I'm fond of saying, and at some point they'll tell you what to do. The painting will tell you what to do. So, I want to wipe a little bit off. I'll lay a little white down. Just to cover the canvas. So far so good. I got the camera pointed in the right direction anyway. Not too high or too low, just right. You know, it's a small canvas, it's less of a problem. I try to keep myself out of the frame, that's the thing, you know. So with a small canvas, it's a little easier to do, but with a big one, I'm obliged to paint at an angle. I got to be off to the side a little bit because I don't want to get in the frame, which normally I have to, you know, I'm right in front of the canvas when I'm painting. So when I'm doing a larger one and videotaping it, I'm painting and drawing in a kind of different position that I normally would. But okay, so what's the problem here? Her face is too wide here. This, see, now I'm drawing over oil paint with charcoal. It's difficult because the paint is slippery, but plus the wouldn't mind having some of the money I've spent on charcoal over the years. And then I think I have to do this, come down like this more. Is that right? No. Well, I don't like, let's see, all right, let's work on the mouth and the nose a little bit. Yeah, the mouth. Always a problem. And then this does this. For some reason I'm not happy with this now. That's better. See, in the paint in the photograph, looks like this side of her face is the cheekbone's a little bit higher, which I know it's not, but well, anyway. I don't know. Something about it I don't like. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Let me put some highlights in. Her skin tone will change, you know, the next step of the painting. I don't know if I'm going to give her a flesh tone or a different kind of skin tone, because Koreans, you know, they're not Caucasian. But so here's a cheekbone. There's another one over here. So it's going to be a highlight in the middle of the forehead. There'll be one down here. Looks like this comes in a little bit, then it does that. And then this, maybe this, does the same thing. I'm not too concerned about, normally I'm not too concerned about following every line of the face, you know, if this comes in a little bit here, I'm not, you know, and I'm painting it straight, that doesn't bother me. I'm just, is it a good painting, or is it a good drawing, or isn't it a good drawing? That's my only concern. And right now, the jury is out. But, and up here, above the eyebrow, there's always going to be a highlight. because of that bone up there. You know, I got to, let me work on the mouth a little bit. I have to rub off some of this paint. This is the Naples yellow. Well, here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to work on the drawing with my little brush and some black paint. We'll see what happens. I don't know, it might be okay. Well, we'll see. Painting is a process of one step forward, two steps back, you know. It's making mistakes, correcting the mistakes, making another mistake, correcting that mistake, you know, that's the way it goes. Like any creative thing in life, not only the arts, but in any profession, you learn as you go along. You learn by doing, and that's the only way, obviously. Hardly needs to be said. You learn by doing. I've been painting for 25 years, and it was 10 years, at least, well, maybe 7, 8, 10, whatever it was, before I felt like I could sign my name to a painting. And when that happened, when by some incredible stroke of fortune, I made a really good, cool painting, I said, I've solved the problem. And I couldn't wait to do the next painting. Of course, the next painting was a total failure. I remember that. Alright, so now I've got some black paint with some thinned out because I'm drawing over the oil paint, so I need a lot of thinner on this brush that it'll cut right through the oil paint and give me a good line. This is how I mix up the black paint with the thinner when I have to draw with the black paint with the little brush. So right now I got a lot of thinner in there. I'll put a little of the black, ivory black into the thinner, then I just mix it up a little bit until I get the right consistency that I want. Not too thick, but not too thin. This looks just about right. Then I take my little brush and I dab it in and I start to draw with this, you know. So, and then there's always a little bit of shadow there. I'll do that later, but okay, now what's going to happen here? Am I going to get lucky? Ooh, not bad. It's not bad. And then this. Sometimes the upper lip is smaller. Well, that looks good. That's not bad. These lines are too thick, but I can do that later. Yeah, the mouth looks good. And I'll put a little, at the corner of the mouth, there's this little thing. That looks good. All right, now for the eye. Beautiful girl. The guy she's marrying is very lucky. I hope he knows that. And a very nice girl, sweet girl. Very fond of her. You know, it may be alright. I'll do the eyeballs later. I gotta put some color in that. The eyebrows are, of course, they're the same color as the hair, but now you gotta be careful. See, you don't want to paint over these black lines. Those should come last. But because now I gotta, I don't want to get black, mix this up with the black paint. At this stage of the painting, it doesn't matter that much, but towards the end, these black lines are the last thing you do. And then, so the hair is this. See, I can give her some strands right here. Here's a strand of hair. And then there'll be another one here. And then maybe this. How does that look? So, plus I have to do this. You know, I think it looks pretty good. I like it. All right, now one other thing, and I think I'll add some white to the shirt. I don't like that color. I don't like this. But I can change that later on. Nah, it's not a cool color. Should be darker. I'll do that later. But I want to draw the shirt. So it starts up here, and that comes down here. The shirt starts up here and does this. And then it does this. Yeah, I don't have it in the camera. Nice going, Jack. I lost a whole bunch of tape when I did the bowling. I did the bowling painting. I was doing his hands and the bowling ball, and I was describing how to draw the hand, this and that and the other. Then when I was all over and I looked at my video, the camera missed it, still aimed at his face and missed all that stuff. So I still have to figure out how to fix that. Yeah, that's good enough for today. So this is about as far as I can go today. I have to wait till it dries, come back, and put some shadows in. Try to nail down the skin tone. If I want some flesh, sort of a flesh color, or if I want more greenish gray, because this isn't so bad actually. Well, we'll have to see. So that's it for bow. I have to wait till this dries and then go on to the next step. I can still see that. Should be a highlight there. I'll throw that in. Yeah, I like it. The mouth still needs some work. That black line is too heavy, but I can do that after it dries. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to get back to work on this painting I did of my friend Bo, the Korean girl. It's dry, so I'll get started. Let's work on the face a little bit. Put down some cadmium red. She's Korean, so she's not real white, you know what I'm saying? But I think the flesh color will look good. Okay, I'll wipe it down a little bit. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know why I do this, the wiping down, you know, so, because then now I'm going to put on Naples yellow, but I don't want too much red there. I don't know if I got enough though. All right. Using sort of a light touch, just so it doesn't get too sucked up with the red, you know, because I want to see some highlights. There's always a highlight there, you know, at the cheek, over here, front of the forehead. Down here. I'm going to need a smaller brush when I get in there, but I'm actually kind of doing a little bit of drawing with the brush now. Matisse was great at that. Matisse was great at drawing with the brush. It's looking good, I think. Maybe I'll get lucky. And the mouth. I'm going to leave the upper lip a little dark because there's always a shadow there. So, and then don't forget this, the philtrum. Always a highlight there at the chin. It's always a highlight right there. All right, now the upper lip. Gonna make that a little dark with the Viridian Green and Alizarin Crimson. But I want to thin it out a little bit. I don't want it too thick. I don't know, we'll see. After I draw it, I'll have a better idea. Meanwhile, hit her eyes. Koreans have very narrow, I'm not going to give her an eyelid. Koreans have very narrow eyelids. Now the hair's just going to be black. Normally I won't paint hair black, but I'm going to do it here. I think it'll work. You know, when you paint black, you can use just black, ivory black, Myers black, a couple other blacks. There are other ways to make a black though. Ultramarine blue and raw umber make a beautiful black when you mix those two together. And what's the other one? I don't know, there's one other combination, but ultramarine blue and raw umber is a beautiful substitute for, well, not even a substitute. A lot of painters will use it because there's more going on in the color because you're mixing two colors together. So I'm not doing that now, but I have done that before, and it's really great. You can even thin this out a little bit, you know, when you're doing black. Normally I like to use a dry brush, but sometimes, see, I'm using a lot of thinner now. That's all right. All right, now for, let's see, the shirt. I have to do the shirt. Okay. I gave her some blue with purple in there. I don't like that though. I'm going to use the purple, straight purple. I think it's an ultraviolet type purple. I don't know. I don't use too much purple. For some reason I don't have luck with it, but I'm going to try it. You know, if I put a little ultramarine blue in this, what will happen? Well, first let me get the purple down. I might like it. There's always a temptation, there's always a temptation to leave the color pure right from the tube. And for some reason, I always resist that temptation and throw some white in there, making it a pastel type color. And then, but why? I don't know. I don't know why I do that. I can't take the pure. How does that look? That looks, well, you don't know. We don't know. We really don't know how this is going to look because I still have to put in this color, the background color. And that's going to change what this looks like. So, but right now I am a little tempted to throw in some ultramarine blue, which is going to really darken it. See, my first temptation is always to put white in this. I'm gonna, all right, let me do the ultramarine blue. What do I get? I'm gonna get a real dark purple, right? Is that good? Is that better? Then, what if I put white in this? It's a nice color, actually. I'm going to do the background. I'll do the background, then we'll see what happens here. And for the background, I think I was using my old standby, the raw sienna, the ultramarine blue and white. So that might be good because with I got ultramarine here, and then if I have a little bit up here, there'll be a what do you call that? There'll be a there's a word for that. They'll get along with each other better, They're compatible. That's the word I was looking for. They're kind of compatible. Those two colors will be compatible. Will they? We don't know. We'll try. But I'm going to put some white in there too. And then, what do I get? I get this, which I don't like. I don't think I like this. I don't know if I like this. No, that's not happening. Those two colors are not happening. See that right now. This may be a good color though for the rest of the painting. I don't know. Might be. That's why I like oils, because they're very forgiving, They're just a lot of fun. I've tried acrylics, and I've done a couple of good paintings with acrylics, but it's not the same. I like oils. I have a friend who's really a fantastic painter, and she's a brilliant painter, actually. German expressionist type like me, but her paintings are, I'd love to be able to paint like her. I can't do it, but anyway, she paints in acrylics, and her paintings are fabulous. They are just fabulous. See, I don't know if this goes with the face so much. I think I need more white, actually, in her face. I'm going to put some white down here, because this is not happening. And before I do that, I may have to rub some of it out. I don't know, we'll see. I've got a little bit of purple in this with the white. Is that in the frame? Ah, actually in the frame. Yeah, I like the shirt. Maybe I'm a little tempted to put a little white in here, just to see what happens. I could mess up the whole face, but because the color is too warm. This is kind of a warm color, and this is kind of a warm color. I think that, this needs a little, and white is kind of cool. So maybe that's, I don't know, I don't want to mess up the painting, but although it wouldn't be the first time. Well, we'll see. I don't want to, what I'll do is I'll mix If I want to put some white in there, I'll mix it up with some Naples yellow first. And it won't be so intense when I lay it down there, you know. So I'll do that. I'll mix the white with a little Naples yellow before I lay it on there. I don't know. It's kind of subtle. Is that happening? And there's the white. I've done this before, and with mixed results. In fact, they're not even mixed. They were unsuccessful. But who knows? I can always change that if I have to. I don't know. Do I like this? I don't have to do the whole face, just a couple of parts, just to get that feeling of, to kill the warm tone, basically. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not bad. I gotta do something down there. Yeah, I can't just do one part of the face. I have to do the whole face, or much of it. You know, I'll have to do some here. It's not bad, but I need more white over here too. I think I need more white here. Okay, I gotta do some drawing. I think I'll do the drawing and then I have a better idea of, I don't know about those skin tones. I don't know about them. Maybe when I'll let this dry, when I put the shadows, I have to come back, throw some shadows in there. And, I mean, it's not bad, but there's something about the skin tone it's not happening. But let me do some drawing. All right, here we go. The mouth looks good. The mouth looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, mouth isn't bad. It's always a plus when you get the mouth right. I forgot to paint her eyebrows black, but that's not a problem. I like the drawing. I like the drawing, but I'm not happy with the skin tones. So I'll have to wait till this dries, and then I'll go back again, give it another shot, put some shadows in, and then throw down some. And I wonder if I used alizarin crimson and white would make her look sort of pink. Do I want pink? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, I gotta do the nose. Okay. Yeah, the drawing is fine, I think, but skin tones are no good. So, oh, I need to draw the shirt. All right, that's all I can do for today, so let it dry and then come back and maybe I can finish it off. Stay tuned. Okay, today I'm going to attack the Bo painting, my friend Bo. This is the third session. I don't know if I'm going to finish today, but I should come close. I was looking at it when I was finished the other day, and one thing bothered me, which was that if you look at her picture, when I was looking at her photograph, it seemed like her eyes were a little bit closer to the nose. There's more of a space between the eye and the eyebrow, and on the painting the eye is a little bit too close to that, so I think I have to move the eye down a little bit. So I'm going to do that, and then I need to work on the flesh tones. Yeah, I was having a problem with her flesh tones. I didn't like them. They were too. It seemed like the Naples yellow was too strong. I put some white on it to tone it down a little bit, but that didn't help. So I had to scrape it all down, and we'll have to start over. But first, I have to move those eyes. So maybe I want to bring them down about like that, maybe, huh? So they'll be more like this. I think that's better. Well, I'll try that. We'll see how that looks. So that means I have to paint out the other eye. So I have to put down some cadmium red first. The other thing I have to do is put some shadows in. So I have to go over the whole face with the cadmium red, and then I really want to put the shadows in now. I'm going to put some of the shadows in now, just a little bit. I just want to get those in there. So for that I'm going to use, I've been using alizarin crimson and viridian green, but I think I'm going to try something else that I've done before that I like. I think it would work with this painting. The cerulean blue and the cadmium red light as my glaze, a dark glaze. So let's try that. Gives you sort of a reddish purple. It's a little thicker. These are not transparent colors. They're a little bit thicker, but that's okay. We'll try it. What the heck? See what happens. There's always one there. There's a shadow there. Up here, there's always some shadows. Sometimes along the edge of the face on that side, or depends where the light source is coming from. Maybe down here, you know. Can you see that? The neck. I'm still learning how to, trying to remind myself to move the camera every time I go to a different part of the canvas. Then what? Then underneath, all right, here's the new eye. I'll put in the new eyes, which are here. I hope, now are they too low? I don't know, I'll worry about that later. Now they look a little bit too low, I think. Yeah, I think I have to put them up just a little higher. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then let's see. Underneath the eye is going to be a shadow. So there's a shadow there. And then at the corners of the nostril, and then underneath the nose, there's always something. And see already it's starting to look good. Those shadows it's amazing what a few shadows here and there will do to the look of a painting. Now, if I want, I can, with a dry brush that's clean, a clean dry brush, I can blend in a little if I want to do that, because it's a little strong. I don't know, I like it though. You know, I might keep that. I don't know. I don't want to make it look like she's got a black eye, obviously. But see here, it might be a little too much here. I don't know, we'll see. Once I put I might have to, I think that needs to be a little bit darker. I like the dark. Dark looks good. Also, her upper lip is dark because there's always a shadow. Because the upper lip overhangs the lower lip a little bit. But I think I may want to lighten it right here. Leave this dark, but right at the top. I don't know. I'll try. Let's see what it's like. That's a little. I have to put some. Also, I want to. Well, I got to cover the whole face in red paint. So let me do that now. That's pretty thick. It's pretty thick, but, and when I'm doing this, I want to avoid mixing the red with the shadows that I just put in, because then there are too many colors happening, and it's going to get a little muddy. I can go over it with the yellow, the Naples yellow a little bit, but I need some red in here. Oh, yeah. Well, I got a lot of red in there. It's a little thick. I have to get most of that off. It's too thick. Because it's just going to suck up too much of the Naples yellow. And I'm not going to be able to get the effect of the highlight that I really want, you know. Well, we'll see what happens. Sometimes I'm always tempted to just leave it like that because it's so different than my usual style. And if I was a fauve type painter, like around the turn of the century, the fauve painters, they just use pure color right from the tube. You know, they would love this. That would be perfect for them. But somehow I don't have the balls, maybe, I don't know. But it kind of looks good that way. But it's not my style. What can I tell you? I have to take it another step. I don't know. I'm always trying to figure out how to get to the next level. But I don't know what that level is. That's the only problem. I feel like I've been painting like this for a long time. And I enjoy it, you know, and people like my paintings. That's the thing. Almost everybody. If you don't like my paintings, you're definitely in the minority. What can I say? So I like that people like my paintings. All right, now for the yellow ochre. I think the red there's too much red though. I don't know if this is going to work. Did I say yellow ochre? Naples yellow, I mean. The Naples yellow. This is a number 8 filbert. Been using the filberts a little bit more lately. Oh, this looks good. I think this is... See, I can put a little of the Naples yellow over the... But I have to be careful. If I do this one shot like that, that looks good. Now the cheekbone, so there's going to be a highlight under here. See where the yellow, the Naples yellow, there's a slight, very lightly over the dark area with a dry brush, and then the color underneath sort of peeks through a little bit. That's a nice effect when you do that. Let's see, I need need some work up here. There's always a highlight over the eyebrows because there's a bone there, you know. So if I press a little bit harder there, I can get, see that? That's perfect. And then, now, I got a problem here because it's got wet paint in it. But I can go over that later. Let's see. And here. Yeah, see, again, that always looks good. If you can just get that little bit of Naples yellow over the dark, it's always a nice effect. Oh, I need a smaller brush. So here, I got smeared a little bit there. I might have to go over that. And then the philtrum, that little area under the nose. Let's see, did I rub this out? See, I pressed a little bit harder there to bring out a highlight, because there's that part of the lip, the lower lip, usually gets a highlight. And then on the upper lip, I want just a little bit. I want to keep it sort of dark, but I want maybe a little bit up here. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. It's still a little bit dark, but there's a little bit more. That looks good. I have to redraw that line. Now, what's next? I have to, let's see. It's a little black here, I don't like. I have to redraw the eyes, and then I have to work on this. I might have to wait till this dries, I don't know. I like it though, it looks good. She looks good. Okay, I gotta draw those eyes. Then there might be too much, I don't know, we'll see. I have to do some drawing. Where else? I gotta redraw this. Yeah, that looks good. That's good. Yeah, I put a little white in there. Should have done this first. You should always, the black, a drawing part always comes last. Because now I got to be careful I don't, hit that black paint with the white and it'll smear. But that's okay. And then I need to do some work up here. I might have to wait till that dries. I don't know. I'll try it right now with a little bit of red. And I might be able to do it. I think so. But I might have to go over the whole painting one more time. But right now I like it. I'm happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, this area I'm gonna have to redo. I think I have to wait after it dries. I don't think I can finish this part off today. But see, I hit that black paint. Yeah, you can still see the old eye. Still a little bit of the old eye that's coming through that I have to get rid of. I'll just have to wait till it dries. So I can do this. And then I want to redraw this. And maybe the philtrum. And then this. The mouth came out pretty good. Yeah, it needs one more session where I have to fix that area, and I think the shadows are okay. Then I might have to, I don't know if I need to repaint. I'll do the shirt now. I think I need to repaint the shirt. I'll do that right now while I'm at it. And then the background, I don't know. I don't know if I don't like that background. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's a little boring, I think. So this was just a purple and some white, huh? Maybe I'll just put some white over it with a little bit of purple. See what that looks like. No, that's not good. Need more purple. That looks good. That's a nice color. It's the same. I think I might have had some ultramarine blue with the purple. That's what this color is. Now I'm just using purple with some white. That's nice. I like that. Okay. Using a dry brush, Very dry brush. Ooh, you know, now this color, now all of a sudden the background looks good because this color has affected, you know, this color is different than the color that was there before and works much better with the background. So, you know, that sometimes that happens a lot in painting. You know, one color always influences the color next to it, which influences the color next to it, which means that one mistake and you can destroy the whole painting. One brush stroke and you can lose the whole painting. That's what it means. And it's happened, believe me. But this looks good. I have to redraw it. All right, now the background, I don't even know what that, I kind of forgot. I should make notes when I do these paintings, which I never do. I really don't know what that is in the background. I think it's ultramarine blue, raw sienna, and white. That's what I think it is. So what I'll do is I'll mix up some of that, maybe with a little bit more white, and see what we get. What's that look like? Looks like that. I think I'm on the right track, but see, that's a little bit darker. Aha! That's what I want, I think. I think I want this. Can you see it? Help if the camera was pointed in the right direction. Yeah, I think this is, yes. And this will be good because you'll see some brush strokes. You'll see with the dry brush, what's going to happen is the color that's already there, when I put on the new color, the color that's already there will still come through, you know, and that gives it a nice effect. Because you know, you see the brush strokes. And it'll be a little bit more white. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. See, also, if I take a smaller brush with the white, or the sort of the white, what I'm using now, and I go along the edge and I kind of press hard, you'll see a very sharp line or boundary between her hair and the background, you know. Like right now there's these bare spots here. So when you go over an outline, let's see, can you see that? Like right here, I press down a little bit hard and I get a nice sharp white line there. That always looks good. And I'll do it on the other side of the neck. And then along the shirt. Just makes it pop, you know. And for example, I'll do it up here. I'll get in close. You can see better what's happening. Getting close. When I put this white down, I press kind of hard. See that crease? A very sharp line. Yeah, it makes it look good. Then I can, and on the other side, do the same thing. You know. Of course, I have to then, it's a little too white. I have to kind of blend it in a little bit with the rest, but that's okay. Then down here, it just sharpens the drawing. It just makes the drawing more stronger, you know. All right, so I want to finish off the background on this side. And you can still see a little bit of the ground poking through here and there, you know. That's always a nice effect. You don't want to, sometimes you don't want to totally cover the ground. Because if you can see it here, there, throughout the painting, it tends to tie the painting together, to hold the painting together. Okay, and then I just got to touch up a few areas like here. There's a little strand of hair like that comes down there, right here. So, I think that's it for today for Bo. I still have to come back, do a little tweaking here and there, but put the eyeballs in. Don't forget that. I like it. Okay, cool. So stay tuned.